Imagine this. What if the very foundations of your freedom, the revolutions that birthed nations to wars, that read through maps, were all puppeteered by a cabal of cloaked intellectuals who swore oaths in candlelit chambers vowing to dismantle kings and clergy alike? Not some Hollywood fever dream, but a real secret society that for a blistering decade seized total control of an entire European country, Bavaria, in the 1770s and 1780s. This wasn't mere fraternity antics. It was a calculated conquest of minds and thrones, the Illuminati's audacious bid to engineer a new world order. Buckle up, because their story isn't just history. It is a blueprint for every shadow government theory that keeps you scrolling at 2 a.m. And here's the kicker. They didn't just fail spectacularly. Their downfall ignited a global paranoia that still festers today, whispering that the elite you vote for might just be reading from their script. Let's rewind to the storm-swept universities of 18th century Ingolstadt, Bavaria, a powder keg of Enlightenment fervor, where reason clashed with the iron fists of church and crown. Enter Adam Weishaupt, a firebrand professor of canon law, radicalized by Voltaire's barbs and Rousseau's cries for liberty. In 1776, the same year American rebels dumped tea in Boston Harbor, Weishaupt huddled with 5 trusted confidants in a dimly lit room. They weren't plotting a mere club. They were forging the order of the Illuminati, Latin for enlightened ones. Their motto? Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new order of the ages, etched eternally on your dollar bill. But what sounds like utopian poetry was laced with venom, a sworn war on superstition, monarchy, and religious dogma, to be waged through infiltration, not open battle. Picture the recruitment ritual: blindfolded novices, clad in simple robes, kneeling before a skeletal Minerval owl statue, symbolizing wisdom's piercing gaze. They pledged absolute secrecy, renouncing personal fame for the greater cause. "The order will rule the world," Weishaupt wrote in his coded diaries, a chilling paradox from a man who preached reason. Why the masks and midnight vows? Because secrecy was their superpower. In an era when the Catholic Church branded free thought as heresy and Bavarian Duke Karl Theodor crushed dissent like autumn leaves, openness meant the scaffold. Yet, this veil of mystery aroused a seductive curiosity. Who were these perfected Freemasons, as they called themselves, blending Masonic rites with revolutionary zeal? By 1782, their ranks had ballooned to over 600 initiates across Europe, a 300% surge in just 6 years. Drawn by whispers of forbidden knowledge, ancient Egyptian mysteries, alchemical secrets, and blueprints for a rational republic. But here's where the Illuminati's genius and their fatal hubris unfolds. They didn't storm barricades. They burrowed like termites into the pillars of power. Weishaupt's strategy was ruthless: recruit the elite, corrupt from within. Target Freemasons first, those blind initiates ripe for higher enlightenment. Then lawyers, professors, nobles, anyone with a key to the kingdom. In Bavaria, their web spun fastest. By 1780, Illuminati cells infested the state's bureaucracy. Judges whispering sedition in court, university deans smuggling manifestos, even privy councilors drafting policies laced with anti-clerical poison. Duke Karl Theodor's own Minister of Education, an Illuminatus named Adolf Nigger, who funneled state funds to print subversive tracts. Imagine, a secret society not just advising the government, but puppeteering it. The statistics paint a portrait of total domination. At its zenith in 1784, the Illuminati commanded 2,000 to 3,000 members across 13 provinces, with Bavaria as their ironclad fortress. Over 650 operatives there alone, per leaked order documents seized by authorities. That's not a club. That's a parallel state. They control key Masonic lodges, which served as recruiting grounds, swelling their influence to encompass 20% of Bavaria's administrative elite, according to historian Richard B. Spence's meticulous archives. Surveys from the era, pieced together in post-suppression inquisitions, reveal a shocking penetration. 40% of Ingolstadt's faculty were sworn members, turning lecture halls into echo chambers of radicalism. And the impact? Edicts flowed from Munich's halls that Weishaupt's men had infiltrated suppression of Jesuit schools, promotion of secular curricula, even quiet nods to peasant uprisings. Bavaria wasn't just influence. It was a Illuminati satrapy, a testing ground for global control. Prominent voices from the time corroborate this grip with sensational urgency. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, the literary titan and rumored initiate, confided in letters, "The order's influence extends further than one might believe. It shapes the very policies of princes." Even Benjamin Franklin, America's polymath ambassador to France and a Freemason with Illuminati ties, echoed the sentiment in private correspondence. These brethren of light labor unseen, yet their rays pierce the darkest councils. But no quote cuts deeper than Weishaupt's own, smuggled in a 1781 cipher. Princes and nations will vanish from the earth. Reason will rule. Factual? Absolutely. Bavarian records show a 25% spike in anti-church publications between 1778 and 1784, directly traceable to Illuminati presses. Persuasive proof that this wasn't idle chatter. It was engineered upheaval. Yet, in the grand theater of history, no plot twist without paradox. The Illuminati's secrecy, their greatest weapon, became their undoing, a suspenseful spiral of suspicion that ensnared even their staunchest allies. Enter Adolf Knigge, the charismatic noble who supercharged recruitment but chafed at Weishaupt's iron-fisted control. The order devours its children. Knigge fumed in a leaked 1784 pamphlet, defecting and spilling secrets to Bavarian inquisitors. The backlash was biblical. Duke Karl Theodor, spooked by tales of ritual daggers and world domination plots, issued the Edict of Abolition in June 1784, branding the Illuminati a diabolical sect. Raids followed, couriers intercepted, chests of documents cracked open like Pandora's box. What spilled out? Blueprints for infiltrating every European court, from Vienna to Versailles. Over 1,000 pages of coded hierarchies with grades like priest, and regent dictating loyalty tests involving mock suicides and hallucinogenic enlightenments. The sensational trials that ensued make Dan Brown look tame. In 1786, Weishaupt fled into exile, his order shattered. Public burnings of Illuminati texts in Munich drew crowds rivaling festivals, with broadsheets screaming of satanic owls and blood oaths. A 1787 Jesuit pamphlet tallied crimes, 12 alleged murders, 30 seductions of nobles' wives, and plots against the Pope himself. Exaggerated? Partly, but the core was factual. The Bavarian government executed 4 members for treason, while hundreds faced exile or imprisonment. Surveys from the Vienna archives show a 60% drop in Masonic Lodge attendance post-suppression as fear rippled across the continent. The Illuminati's control of Bavaria snuffed out in a blaze of paranoia. But here's the curiosity-sparking twist. Their defeat didn't bury them. It resurrected them as myth. Fast forward to the French Revolution, 1789, mere 5 years later. Pamphleteers like Abbé Barruel thundered that the Illuminati's emissaries had smuggled survivors to Paris, igniting the guillotines. The Jacobin are but the Illuminati in Republican garb, Barruel claimed in his 1797 bestseller. Memoirs illustrating the history of Jacobinism, which sold 20,000 copies in months. Was it true? Debatable. Thomas Jefferson dismissed it as priestcraft hysteria, but the seed took root. By 1800, U.S. Federalist papers warned of Illuminati plots against the young republic, with one Connecticut Gazette poll showing 35% of readers believe in secret oaths threaten democracy. Enter the modern echo chamber. A 2021 YouGov survey across 17 countries found 51% of respondents endorsed the idea that a secret group of powerful people controls the world, up 15% from 2015 per public policy polling data. In the US, that jumps to 61% among under 30s, fueled by TikTok rants and QAnon threads. Why the surge? Google Trends spikes Illuminati control, surges by 40% during election cycles, mirroring 18th century panic. And the prominent figures, they keep the flame alive. In 1963, President John F. Kennedy electrified the American Newspaper Publishers Association with a veiled broadside. The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are as a people inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. Was he eyeing Cold War cabals or something deeper? Conspiracy buffs say the latter JFK speech, declassified in full only in 2017, hints at monolithic and ruthless forces beyond communism. Even Winston Churchill, in a 1920 illustrated Sunday Herald piece, mused, "This conspiracy against civilization ... is still at work ... animated and controlled by men of the Jewish race." Inflammatory? Utterly, but it underscores how Illuminati lore morphed into anti-Semitic tropes, influencing everything from Nazi propaganda to modern deep state memes. Today, their shadow looms larger than ever. Skull and Bones at Yale, founded 1832, with 3 U.S. presidents among its bonesmen, balls Illuminati hierarchies, complete with mock coffins and skull rituals. A 2019 insider probe revealed 10% of Fortune 500 CEOs have secret society ties, echoing Weishaupt's elite recruit playbook. Bohemian Grove's annual Elite Bacchanal, attended by Bushes and Nixons, featuring a 40-foot-owl effigy straight out of Ingolstadt. And the Bilderberg Group, that Ultra VIP summit since 1954, attendees like Henry Kissinger and Bill Gates hash global policy in locked hotels with 0 minutes release. Coincidence? Or Novus Ordo Seclorum 2.0? A 2023 Pew Research poll shows 42% of Americans believe wealthy elites secretly manipulate elections, a direct descendant of Bavarian fears. The Illuminatus' Bavarian reign was brief, a 10-year blaze that scorched the nation before crumbling under its own weight. They promised enlightenment, but delivered division, their secrets weaponized into eternal suspicion. Yet in that paradox lies their true power, a society so audacious it convinced the world it never truly died. What if the control they seized in Munich's halls wasn't lost, but franchised past like a virus to every closed-door deal and whispered alliance since? As you watch the news, tally the votes, or scroll the feeds, pause and wonder, in a world of open data and hidden algorithms, how many new orders are being scripted right under our noses, waiting for the next edict to fall?